Brewers make their first trip to Tampa Bay and Tropicana Field for the first time since 2014 as we get ready for the start of this three-game series between the Brewers and the Tampa Bay Rays here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And the Rays are rolling. They have just picked up 3 out of 4 games in a series against the Houston Astros. They had a late night, early morning arrival here after a night game in Houston last night, and now they are just 1/2 game back in the American League wildcard race. And the Brewers are coming off of their first series win against the Cardinals at home since 2012. They picked out 2 out of 3 of those 3 games with a combined earned run average of .257. Tremendous pitching in a very close and tight series against the Cardinals. A look at Travis Shaw. The Brewers were able to pick up half a game here in the National League Central standings as the Cubs dropped the first game of their series against the Nationals 4-2 this afternoon at Wrigley. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Tropicana Field. And the story today for the Brewers is that Brandon Woodruff is getting his second shot at his Major League debut. He was supposed to come up on June 13th, but was scratched with right hamstring tightness. And so that has been a part of a flurry of moves here for the Brewers. So Woodruff is getting ready for his Major League debut. He's been recalled from AAA Colorado Springs. The corresponding move to send down Lewis Brinson. And Jet Bandy, yesterday it was announced that he has a rib fracture, so he will miss a few weeks on the disabled list. He was hit by a pitch Sunday afternoon against the Cubs, felt it on his swing in his third at-bat yesterday. So they have recalled Andrew Susek from AAA Colorado Springs, and Susek has had to deal with both a neck injury and cluster migraines, but Susek said he's healthy and ready to contribute here with the Brewers.
Oh, I'm healthy now. It took a while. The migraines really were a setback for me mid-season, especially after, you just start rolling and getting in the swing of things of playing every day. And to have a setback like that is, missing that much time. It's going to take some time naturally to get back into it. But I feel good now, and we got it under control and ready to rock.
Well, as we go up to our game announcers, Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder, certainly everyone is hopeful that Brandon Woodruff, his Major League debut here, will go better than that first time in St. Louis. And Craig Counsell said it was most unusual circumstances, but he is the 4th best prospect in this organization and a big piece of this organization moving forward.
Absolutely, Sophia. Minor league pitcher of the year last year in this Brewers system. We thought he was going to make his debut on June 13th. That didn't happen, but Rock, I would think the butterflies are going for him here today. What do you look for out of Brandon Woodruff here tonight?
Well, first of all, Woodruff, this should have happened about a month ago, but it did not. So he has a little bit of experience in that clubhouse. These guys don't know him all that well. Things to think about with Brandon Woodruff today. Take a breath. Put yourself in a good place. Don't let the surroundings overwhelm you here in the major leagues. Now, that's easier said than done. I understand. I've been in that situation. He needs the slider and the changeup to keep these hitters from the Tampa Bay Rays off the fastball. These guys can hit home runs just like Milwaukee, but early success is going to be imperative. Keep a couple of scoreless innings is going to go a long way to establish some comfort and some confidence. So if he's able to do that, I think you're going to see a pretty good outing from Brandon Woodruff here today.
Absolutely right, Rock. You talk about the lineups that both of these young arms are going to face. Brandon Woodruff along with Jake Faria. These are 2 of the elite power hitting lineups all across Major League Baseball. They collide at the Trop this weekend. We'll get into some more of those power numbers as we continue on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Along the Gulf Coast this weekend for the Brewers, a couple of rookies matching up. We told you about Brandon Woodruff making his debut. Jake Faria, he's a rookie, got off to a great start. His first 7 outings has leveled off a bit of late. Both pitchers will be facing a whole lot of power. Eric Thames among them, as well as Logan Morrison. These are 2 of the top 4 home run hitting teams in all of baseball. There's power across the lineups, including the face of the franchise for the Rays, Evan Longoria, and Ryan Braun in the lineup for the Brew Crew tonight. Game 1, Brewers and Rays, coming up. Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Indoors, the catwalks, the famous rings here at Tropicana Field. Thank goodness for the dome. Nice and in the 90s. Humidity to match as we get you ready for baseball here tonight at Tropicana Field. Here is the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Eric Thames again at the top, followed by Santana and Braun. Travis Shaw hits cleanup. Aguilar and Perez, Pena, Broxton, and Arcia rounding out the Brewers batting order against the rookie pitcher for the Rays, Jake Faria.
Yeah, big right-hander, 6'4", 200 pounds, 24 years old. Got caught up on June 7th and has really done a nice job for the Rays. 5-1 at 293 earned run average. Big hard-throwing right-hander.
Seeing Eric Thames at the top of the order for the second consecutive game here for the Crew, and this marks his second career start at the top of the order. Was 0 for 4 yesterday, but it's the continuing attempt just to shake up the lineup a little bit, get some more runs on the board. The Brewers had just enough yesterday, 2-1 in a terrifically pitched game, but Rock Count's just trying to find a way to get some more offense out of this team right now.
And not just with the lineup, but the guys he's got in the lineup themselves. There's a good changeup from Faria. Not just a hard throw, but just trying to find a combination of guys that's going to put some runs on the board. It has been difficult for the Brewers to find runs since the beginning of the second half. Let's check out the Menards Rays defense. It's kind of toward the bottom of the American League in total defense. Corey Dickerson, Malik Smith, Steven Souza in the outfield. You got Longoria, Robertson, Miller, and Duda. Duda recently acquired from the New York Mets, and Wilson Ramos behind home plate.
There's Domingo Santana. This is a Rays team that has made some moves in the days leading up to the non-waiver trade deadline. This is a big series. It sounds repetitive, and both teams would like to keep it repetitive as Santana falls behind 2-0. The Brewers just a game behind the Cubs. The Rays a half game back in the wild card standings. These teams have identical records at 57 and 53 going into this matchup as Santana sends a fly ball right to Steven Souza Jr. for out number 2.
It's almost scary how similar these two teams are in every aspect. Pitching, hitting. They score runs in very similar fashions. They hit a lot of home runs, and they both strike out a ton. So this should be very interesting. Let's go back to the defense. How about the Rays defense this time? We'll go Dickerson, Smith, Souza, Longoria, Robertson, Miller, and Duda, and Wilson Ramos behind home plate.
Just getting you up to date, seeing if you're paying attention.
Apparently I wasn't.
Here's Ryan Braun in the lineup in left field here tonight. Takes his swings and misses rather at a Faria offering. This is a Rays team that somewhat quietly, I guess, maybe in some ways from a national perspective, very similar to the Brewers. Expectations nationally were low going into this year. The Rays were a 90-plus loss team a year ago, but they have some guys putting together some outstanding seasons, including this rookie Jake Faria, and you see where the Rays sit. Mentioned half game out in the wild card standings and just 3.5 back in the American League East. Brewers have fared well against this division. This is the interleague swing here for the Brewers. Of course, they'll also be having their annual 2-2 with the Minnesota Twins, but the Brewers are 9-4 against the rest of the AL East heading into this weekend series against Tampa Bay. That's his team winning 2 of 3 in each of their series against the Red Sox and the Yankees. 1-2 at Toronto, lost 2 at home to the Blue Jays, then swept the Orioles at Miller Park.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job in the interleague play this year. The Tampa Bay Rays, you look at what they've been able to do in the interleague play, 7-5.
Maybe nationally you would say that both of these ball clubs are ahead of schedule. Although maybe those inside the walls would tell you they didn't set the expectations. They're just going to try to put together as many wins as they can and see how it all shakes out. And here we are in the first week of August, and these two ball clubs are right in the thick of it. Full count to Braun with 2 outs as we just get started. First of 5 straights where the Brewers will have the DH in play. For this series, 2 games at Target Field against the Twins, and then Paul Molitor's team will come back to Miller Park where the crew starts a homestand next Wednesday. Finish that 2-2, and then the Reds come in. The DH, that means we'll see Thames, who of course is the DH, but it means you have Thames, Braun, and Aguilar in the lineup. Intriguing thoughts as Braun swings and fouls, and the count holds 3-2. Faria has been terrific at home. This is his 5th start at home this season. 3-0 with a .281 earned run average.
He was really pitching well down in the minor leagues. 6-1 in 11 starts. This is pitch number 9 to Braun.
3-2 pitch again. And Braun works him for a walk, and there's your first base runner of the night.
Yeah, Faria's got good confidence in that changeup. He's thrown a couple of them. A couple to Ryan Braun. He threw one on that 3-2 pitch. And a young guy that has confidence in the off speed. You know, fastball pretty straight. Throws hard. You know, 95, 96 he'll top out. Curveball and changeup. They said changeup works a lot like a splitter.
And opponents really struggle against it. Say hit about 167 against that offering from Faria. So Braun, the 2-out base runner for Travis Shaw. 24 homers, a club high 74 RBIs for the third baseman. Holding that leadership in the RBI total for most of this year, and you see that very strong OPS of 922.
Yeah, broke out of a mini slump the last game of the series against St. Louis with a couple of hits. His slumps don't last long.
No, you're right. He has been extremely consistent for this Brewers team this season. Pitch bounces up there. 2 balls, no strikes to Shaw.
Tough block by Wilson Ramos. He was with the Twins. He was with the Nationals. Catching every day with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Getting back into the mix in late June. Ramos tore his ACL late September last year with the Nationals. Put together an all-star year. Signed to the offseason with Tampa Bay. 2 balls, no strikes to Travis Shaw with 2 outs, and Ryan Braun the runner at first. You just have to think that this Brewers team, which we all have talked about, was seemingly slump-proof collectively, but it's happened where almost everyone has gone cold, and now you just wait for 3 or 4 guys to go on a tear. Sooner the better. See if they can get something going here tonight as Travis Shaw works a walk. So back-to-back 2-out walks given up by Jake Faria.
Yeah, you just wait for this team to explode on somebody. They're due for a 10-12 run game at some point. But Rick Counsell has pretty much waited the entire second half ever since the All-Star break.
Yeah, the Brewers 7-12 coming out of the break, but they took the series from St. Louis. Counsell watching his team. He got a 2-1 win yesterday. It was a terrific game. Matt Garza gave him a good effort grinding through. As Garza told reporters after the game, he had to grind through it. Maybe didn't have his best stuff. And then Corey Knebel flipping a 3-2 curve on Greg Garcia with 2 men on.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a way to end the game. Here's Jesus Aguilar.
Gutsy, wasn't it?
Sure was. Maybe Aguilar is one of those guys who's really going to heat up. He has homered in each of his last 2 games. Got the Brewers back into the game Tuesday night, or rather Wednesday night against St. Louis. A solo shot yesterday in the 3rd to open up the scoring. It was off of Michael Wacha. 2 out, 2 on for Aguilar, first baseman tonight. Check out what Jesus did yesterday afternoon. Yep, watching him.
Cutter out away from home run number 11 for Aguilar. Gave the Brewers a 1-0 lead at the time. That was the 3rd inning. Deserves the playing time for sure, the way he's been swinging the bat coming off the bench.
A ball, a strike. A couple of walks with 2 outs. Brewers with the threat going in the 1st inning. Inning that has been good for Milwaukee throughout this season. Into this game having scored 89 runs in the 1st inning. They're a plus 38 overall. For a team that struggles mightily with runners in scoring position, you are looking at a notable exception there in Jesus Aguilar. 2 balls, 1 strike. Aguilar hits this one in the air. Right field. Souza Jr. Lots of room, and that'll do it for the Brewers in the 1st. Couple of walks, but they do not score. And now we are about to see the Major League debut of Brandon Woodruff, ready to take the mound here at Tropicana Field. the first inning. Unable to cash in on a couple of walks given up by Jake Faria. Kevin Cash, 39 years young, the youngest manager in the big leagues, third season at the helm here in Tampa Bay, and has his team very much in the fight for a playoff spot. Let's check out the Rays batting order presented by Potawatomi. Corey Dickerson leads off. Duda and Longoria at 2-3. Logan Morrison, it's cleanup. Sousa and Miller 5 and 6. Ramos, Malik Smith, David Robertson rounding out the Rays batting order, and that's the order that will face Brandon Woodruff making his big league debut.
His numbers down in AAA this year. AAA Colorado Springs, 6-5 in 16 starts. A 446 earned run average. He's 6'2", 225 pounds, 24 years old. And this is his 4th season in the Brewers organization.
Everybody very eager to see what he can do here at this level. He faces Corey Dickerson, who likes to let it fly as a leadoff hitter. He will swing early and often. Doesn't walk much, but he has been getting on base. You see that average. A strong OPS, as he is one of 4 Rays with at least 20 home runs. So both of these teams go deep a lot. 159 home runs for both the Brewers and the Rays.
Yeah, it's almost scary how similar these two teams are. I mean, team earned run average almost identical. You know, the top 2 strikeout teams in all of baseball. Kind of a dubious distinction tonight. Offensively, I'm talking about. But it's almost as if these two teams are playing an inter-squad game. They're playing in a mirror. It's amazing how close they are.
The Brewers have known a whole lot about close games, especially lately. Assume there's more of the same in store as Dickerson fouls one down the line. We're getting that idea of a lively fastball from Brandon Woodruff.
Man, he looks nice and cool and calm and collected right now. And you would imagine things are going very quickly for him right now. It's up to Manny Pena to calm him down and hopefully get a couple of scoreless innings under his belt.
Well, he got through the warm-ups okay, so that's a positive step. Didn't get any luck in that direction in June 13th, when he experienced hamstring tightness. He was going to be the starter that June day at Busch Stadium. Now the 24-year-old gets the opportunity here tonight against the Rays. A ball, 2 strikes to Dickerson.
And not only are these two teams very similar, but 2 starting pitchers almost carbon copies of each other. You know, big fastballs, curveballs. Of course, Woodruff more the slider variety than the curveball. And both of them have decent changeups.
Woodruff ahead in the count. A ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Corey Dickerson. Woodruff gets a strikeout on a changeup, and that's the way you want to start your big league career, with a punch out.
One of the surefire ways of finding out if a guy's nice and relaxed is how is his off-speed stuff. That was a good changeup going down and away. That's a nice pitch, perfectly located on a 1-2 count. Look at the movement on that. Well done. There's a good start.
One out in the first for the 24-year-old out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Played his college ball at Mississippi State. As he faces Lucas Duda, the former Met. One of the acquisitions the Rays made leading up to the non-waiver trade deadline came over from the Mets on July 27th. Getting on base, he has reached safely in each of the games he has played in his new uniform. This being game number 8. And you see his combined numbers. He's hit 3 of them already for Tampa Bay. A little flare into left field, and that's going to fall, a base hit. And Duda reaches for the 8th straight game with his new ball club, and there's the first hit of the night.
Yeah, not exactly how he dialed it up. Talking about Duda, 2-0 pitch, he got sawed off and dumps one down the left field line. Pretty good pitch on the 2-0 count. But Duda able to fight it off and punch it out there in the left field. Got some good life on that fastball, it appears.
as advertised. So Duda, the first base runner for Tampa Bay tonight. And now Evan Longoria, 31-year-old mainstay of this Tampa Bay Rays franchise. Monday night, or Tuesday rather, he hit for the cycle. Did it all. The double late in the game completed the cycle. Needed replay to overturn. They had him thrown out, but replay overturned it. So Longoria had himself a cycle against the Astros. It was a road trip that was really going south for Tampa Bay, and then the Rays came back after losing big to Houston on Monday night. The Rays won Tuesday, Wednesday, and again last night. Pretty good work to bounce back on what was looking like a very tough road trip, and they go in and beat the first place Astros 3 out of 4 in Houston.
Yeah, the Astros don't often lose 3 straight games.
No.
You got to play some pretty good baseball to beat those guys, particularly in their own ballpark.
Ball 2 strikes to Longoria. Brandon Woodruff with a strikeout of Corey Dickerson. Gave up a single a moment ago to Lucas Duda. Here's the 1-2. Foul tip. We mentioned he's gone through a lot. This Brandon Woodruff lost his brother, died in an ATV accident a little over a year ago in Mississippi, and spent some time away from his AA team in Biloxi to be with his family, and then came back, and his first game back on the mound, pitched 6 shutout innings and hit his first professional home run. And ended up being the Brewers minor league pitcher of the year. Doing in terrific work, and now gets his chance on the big stage. The 1-2.
Pretty good fastball at 96 right there. Had a little movement on it. A little sink action as it gets to home plate. Not so much sinks, but a little bit of a tail to it. Got in on the hands of Longoria.
Count holds a ball, 2 strikes. A lot of thump in this Rays lineup here. Logan Morrison on deck. Now a 2-2 count to Longoria. Big power year last year did Longoria. Hit 36 home runs. Drove in 98. Grinding out this at bat in the first inning against Woodruff.
Pretty nice fluid delivery, not a whole lot of moving parts, kind of a very smooth delivery, throws right over the top. You would expect a delivery like that would protect the arm a bit. Not too much strain on the shoulder and elbow.
Brewers continue to do a lot of mixing and matching. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, obviously, with his pitching staff. Chase Anderson still trying to work his way back. Brent Suter has emerged and has pitched very well, and now an opportunity for Woodruff to see what he can do as they try to get Junior Garris squared away. And that just scratches the surface of the bumps and bruises this team has had to deal with, and yet here they are, just a game out. Cubs losing at home to the Nationals this afternoon, 4-2 at Wrigley Field.
Doesn't it seem like every team is battling injuries more this year than ever? I think a little bit of it has to do with that 10-day disabled list. You're more apt to put a guy on the 10-day DL as opposed to the 15. You don't have guys, playing a lot of nagging injuries these days. They put them on the DL, let them get better.
Yeah, when in doubt, sit them out. 3-2 pitch. This is popped up. Foul territory. Aguilar will have a play. There's the second out of the inning.
I like the way he's been able to establish inside. I mean, he's got a good pitch, a lot of life on it, and he's been able to jam some hitters. He got jammed Dude on a 2-0 count and just got in on the hands of Longoria.
2 men outs in the first inning in the big leagues for Brandon Woodruff, and now he faces Logan Morrison. He's putting together his best season in the big leagues. 29-year-old draft pick of the Florida Marlins was Morrison. A couple of years with the Seattle Mariners, his second year now with the Rays. Prior to this year, Morrison's biggest year as a run producer was with the Marlins back in 2011. 23 homers, drove in 72. Already 28 bombs this season. And he has 66 RBIs. That's a hot smash into left field, a base hit. Ball really scoots here. Runners at first and second as Braun retrieves. And with 2 outs, the Rays have 2 runners on.
Yeah, Morrison is having a monster season. I mean, very consistent, barreling up a lot of pitches, and he's able to get the bat head out on his fastball from Woodruff and hammers it out there into left field. It's brand new turf here this year at Tropicana Field. They put down the new turf. And I was talking to Broxton before the game. He says it really scoots in the gaps. You really have to backpedal a bit. Not too spongy, it doesn't bounce a lot. But it's a lot quicker than natural grass for sure.
Two outs and 2 on here for the Rays in the first inning. Steven Souza Jr. also having a very good year. And playing through a little foot injury. Took a foul ball off his foot Monday in Houston. Was out of the lineup Tuesday and Wednesday. Was back in there last night and homered. He's gone deep 23 times here this season. And it took him a while to round the bases. He was limping.
Yeah. Now look at the numbers. I mean, one's back in the lineup quickly, and you know that Kevin Cash wants him in there.
1-0 the counts. Brewers in the first. The Rays have a threat going. Milwaukee was turned back, and Woodruff trying to do the same here to Tampa Bay in the home half of the first. Singles from Lucas Duda and Logan Morrison. Sets up the RBI opportunity for Souza. Two balls, no strikes. Mentioned the Brewers struggle with runners in scoring position, and that's another area where there's very little separation between these ball clubs. We'll see where they stand in the American League. By way of comparison, the Brewers RISP is .238. 3-0 the count, and that brushed him back, and that is ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the first.
Yeah, high pitch count, never good for a guy making that major league debut, putting some pressure pitches on him early. Already 24 pitches. Now 11 balls, 13 strikes, not a good ratio, but if he gets out of this, I think that's going to go a long way for his confidence. This is a pivotal at-bat for Brandon Woodruff.
And you see Rays are everywhere. Duda at third, Morrison at second. Steven Souza Jr. the runner at first for the second baseman Brad Miller. Looks at a strike. Miller with light hitting numbers. As you can see, they're waiting for him to get going. He'll work here for walks, though, a low batting average, but he has been walked 46 times. The on base percentage is .340. He's down 2 strikes and nothing here.
It makes such a difference in the lineup when you don't have the pitcher coming up, right? I mean, that's not that soft spot in the lineup, and you got to be careful with everybody.
Kevin Cash looking for numbers that are more comparable to last year for Miller, and able to get things in gear at least to this point. 0-2 pitch on the way. Couple of singles and a walk given up by Woodruff here in the first inning. 28th pitch of this inning coming up as Derek Johnson and Craig Counsell look on. The 1-2 back to the box. Woodruff will flip to Aguilar, and that threat is turned back. Well, he can exhale now. He got through the first, couple of singles and a walk, but the Rays do not score. We move to the second.
Score yet between the Brewers and the Rays. Brandon Woodruff works out of a bases loaded jam here in his first inning. And our scoops from the clubhouse brought to you by Car Soup. It was a big step forward for Chase Anderson today as he works his way back from that left oblique strain on the disabled list. Since June 29th, Anderson was on the mound for the first time today with a live batting practice, through to a number of hitters, including Jason Lane, Jonathan VR, Stephen Vogt stood in there as well. And Anderson said he went 35 pitches and felt really good about how everything went today. Craig Counsell saying he looked really good. He said it was about as good as you could ask for. He said he was throwing about game effort, no restrictions. So the plan for Anderson now would be a minor league rehab assignment as soon as Tuesday or Wednesday.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. It's been said before, Rock, I know UBA have talked about it. It's not unlike an acquisition. If you can, if and when you get Chase Anderson back, and then eventually Stephen Vogt as well. But the way Chase Anderson has pitched this year, that's a huge lift when they can get him back.
Yeah, no kidding. But you know what? This starting rotation has done a good job in his absence. I mean, you think about the last homestand for the Brewers. The Brewers in 6 games scored 14 runs, and they won 3 games.
How about that?
Their starting pitching has been tremendous.
It has. It has been lights out good here at times, and in outings where you might have to grind it a little bit more. Yesterday, Matt Garza went 5 2/3, but the bullpen was terrific. Zach Davies has pitched extremely well. As Hernan Perez begins this second inning with a line single to left.
Well, he could turn on anybody's fastball. That was a 1-2 count. I don't even think it was a strike. It was up and in, and he was able to turn it around into left field. And the high fastball Not going to get by Hernan Perez. He's got quick hands, nice and easy, and rips a single to left.
Looking for consistent offensive productivity from second base. Hernan Perez in the lineup at second once again here tonight. VR and Eric Sogard have been tag teaming for a time, and Perez, who can play all over, gets the call at second as Manny Pena settles in.
Yeah, just trying to find somebody at second base that's going to get on and maybe driving some runs. It has been tough for both Sogard and VR. Perez with a base hit today.
There's Eric Sogard. He had the huge numbers when he came up, when Ryan Braun went on the DL for the first time with the calf issue. That was back in about the middle of May. And there's a ground ball over to Longoria. Chance for two. Miller for one, and a turn to Duda, and that's an around the horn double play. You don't turn a ton of them, but that was tailor-made, and quickly there are two men out here in the second.
And not like the Brewers, that's the one big difference between these two ball clubs. That's only the 92nd double play turn by the Rays. And easy that time with Pena running down the line.
Here's Keon Broxton, showing signs that he's starting to heat up. Very streaky hitter. We have seen long slumps. We have seen some torrid stretches at the plate from Broxton. And either way at the plate, he's going to give you those highlight reel catches, as he did yesterday afternoon, taking a home run away from Jose Martinez of the Cardinals. They can find a way to get him going again at the plate.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, as good as his defense is, he's going to have to hit. Got to be more consistent.
Two-strike pitch to Broxton. Swung on, hit in the air to right center field. Smith will call for it. That'll do it for the Brewers here in the second. So they do nothing with a leadoff single. We are through an inning and one half of scoreless ball. Rays are scoreless at Tropicana Field. Big league debut here tonight for Brewers starter Brandon Woodruff. Here's his story in a nutshell. 11th round pick by the Crew in 2014 after 3 years of ball at Mississippi State University. Good numbers here at Colorado Springs. A very good outing, last outing before his call-up. And, of course, one of the top prospects in this organization was going to go on June 13th, but his hamstring didn't cooperate. Started barking at him during the pregame warm-up. But he gets his chance here tonight. See, very proud and probably more than a little bit nervous, but Rocky got through the first inning, bases loaded jam, but worked his way out of it.
Yep. Only one ball hit hard. He did walk a batter. That didn't help, but a scoreless inning. Doesn't matter how he got there, but that's what he was able to accomplish. Feels better about himself now.
Faces the bottom of the order here in the second inning. Wilson Ramos, and there's a hot smash into center field.
That slider right down the middle of the plate. Kind of a flat slider that time. He threw a couple of good ones earlier in the first inning. This one up. That's not going to get it done. That was a hanger right down the middle, and Ramos hits it into center.
Hit number 3 for the Rays, and that brings the center fielder Malik Smith to the plate. A 24-year-old Florida native. He's out of Tallahassee. And after the first pitch, and he shoots one through into left. A couple of singles here to begin the home half of inning number 2 for the Tampa Bay Rays.
That was Ramos on a slider in his center field. This is a fastball this time down the middle, and Smith kind of slices it out there into the hole between short and third. For the first 2 reach, the bottom of the order getting on base.
A little trouble going on in the second inning for Woodruff. Ninth place hitter in the order, Daniel Robertson, who's back off the disabled list, had been dealing with neck spasms. He's off the DL and in the lineup at short for Kevin Cash tonight. Three-year-old, originally an Oakland A's draft pick.
Kind of tells you what you need to know about the American League, right? No pitcher. Ordinarily in the National League, this is a bunting situation.
No doubt.
You know, the pitcher up at the plate. Well, you got the position player. He's swinging away.
Oh, and 2 the counts. Wilson Ramos and Malik Smith singling off Woodruff here to begin the second inning. Two-strike pitch on the way. Got him swinging. Second strikeout for Woodruff, out number 1 here in the second.
I think that pitch had a little cut to it. Sometimes you do that not by design, but he put that one right on the outside corner. Good pitch. Kind of pulled it in that direction, and supposed to be inside, but hey, it doesn't matter. He got the strikeout. It was missed by about 17 inches, but it worked out.
He'll take it. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
First out of the inning, and now the lineup turns over. Corey Dickerson, he struck out. First batter that Woodruff faced here in the show. Change up for strike 1. And Dickerson helped the Rays with his glove last night. Made a terrific catch out in left field. The numbers at the plate impressive. And 3 for 5 last night to Dickerson against the Astros. Good fastball there. He can rear back and let it go. We're seeing that early.
Well, he's getting tested in the first 2 innings here. I mean, he has had some high leverage pitches already tonight. A bunch of them.
Two strikes and nothing to Corey Dickerson. Woodruff originally was drafted by the Rangers in 2011. He was drafted in the 5th round and opted to go to college. His home state, Mississippi State. Brewers, we mentioned, made him an 11th round pick 3 years ago. A ball, 2 strikes, and he gets Dickerson for the foul tip. Or no, he hung on. Pena just felt it. That's out number 2.
Yeah, the backswing got him on the mitt. Pena's had a rough few days. A lot of foul tips. Got run over at the plate. And check it out. There's that pitch. Once again, he misses his spot. And is able to hold on. Look where that ball stuck. Right into the heel of the glove. So it's not necessary for Woodruff to hit the glove all the time.
That's right.
Both of his strikeouts have missed the entire width of the plate.
Two outs and 2 runners on for Lucas Duda. Singled and was left stranded at 3rd in the 1st inning. Brandon Woodruff trying to get out of some trouble for the 2nd straight inning. Left him loaded in the 1st. 2 aboard in the 2nd. Now a 2-0 count to Duda. Left-handed bat in this Rays lineup. Do some damage. (2-0). Leads off a fastball upstairs. I'm sure he didn't expect it to be easy. Finding out in a hurry it isn't.
And he's also realizing that these major league hitters don't swing too often out of the strike zone.
No. Occasionally you'll find a hitter who'll do that, but by and large not so much. They'll work the count, and that's a 4-pitch walk, and for the 2nd straight inning the bases are loaded. Playing with fire right now. Was able to retire Brad Miller with the bases loaded in the 1st inning.
Yeah, a little different now. You got Longoria at the plate.
Yep. Face of this Rays franchise. You see that average, but he has been considerably better over the better part of the last month, hitting at a .333 clip over the last 26 games. Gives himself a big opportunity here in the 2nd inning. Once again, the bases are loaded. Ramos at 3rd, Smith at 2nd, Duda the runner at 1st.
Another one, another shot that Pena takes. Why have a week?
When you do hold your breath here, remember Jet Bandy is on the DL. Andrew Susac called up from Colorado Springs.
Yeah, look at that, right between the eyes, right there, almost sticks in the catcher's mask. Yeah, you go through stretches like this behind home plate. I mean, it seems like 2-3 times a game that Pena is getting hit, and then you'll go a while without getting too many foul tips. He's in a bad stretch right now.
I saw Yadier Molina get knocked around quite a bit yesterday. But yeah, you're right. Pena has really taken some shots. 0-1 to Evan Longoria. Popped out to Aguilar in foul territory in the 1st inning. Good slider, and that's a strike.
Yeah, last time up, Woodruff was able to jam Longoria. He popped up into foul ground. Let's see if they try to go back in there. The location for Woodruff has not been all that sharp. Dangerous to miss out over the plate with this guy.
2 strikes and nothing to Longoria with the bases loaded. Ground ball gobbled up by Orlando Arcia, and once again the Rays are denied. Well, Brandon Woodruff walking a tightrope through the first 2, but so far so good. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Thank you very much. Orlando Arcia leading things off. 23 years old today. Orlando Arcia. Putting together a very good year here for the Crew. Defensively, the moves or the plays he comes up with, and offensively as he turns on one to left center field, and that's going to go to the wall. Arcia on his way to second with a double. He'll try to make it 3. Here's the relay, not in time. It's a triple for Arcia to begin the 3rd.
Wow, that ball was hammered deepest part of the ballpark out there in center. I tell you, Arcia, I think, ran through a stop sign at second base. Yeah, the throw in from Smith kind of floated. He didn't hit the first cutoff man. That's why he was able to get into third base safely. And by the time the trailer got to it, a little bit too late. Now check it out. I mean, that's a long way out there. Arcia looking, and if they hit the first cutoff man, I think he's going to be out at third base.
Yeah, he fooled me. I thought he was just going to take it into second. That'd be enough, but he gets 3 out of it. RBI chance for Eric Thames.
He never want to make the first out at third base, but he did not. He made it safely on his birthday.
There you go. Happy birthday, Orlando Arcia.
Did you wish him a happy birthday today?
No, I feel bad about that. Did you?
I didn't know until you said it.
Oh, all right. Well, I will. The night is young. Always trust those game notes. Put together by the incomparable Zach Weber.
Yeah. Good job by Zach putting that in there. Of course, I don't look at the game notes until after I come back from the field.
That's all right. Yeah, you're gathering your own information. That's the way it should be. 2 strikes and nothing to Thames. Flipping a curveball up there. Throw that a lot. Thames fights it off.
Yeah, he mixes fastball, curveball, slider, changeup a lot once he gets to 2 strikes. And we've seen that already tonight.
Brewers trying to score first. Great opportunity after a leadoff triple from Arcia.
Man, Rays are conceding a run. They've got the infield back. Just don't hit it to third base. Longoria a little bit behind the bag.
Correa ready with a 1-2 pitch. Just with a change, 2-2.
Back-to-back changeups.
Correa struck out Thames in the first. The 2-2. And there's a base hit, and it's an RBI single for Thames as Arcia is in with the first run of the ball game.
Brewers needed that. A hit with a man in scoring position early in the game. Eric Thames picking on a curveball that wasn't a bad pitch, 75 miles an hour down and away, and hooked it into right field. Good job staying back on that off-speed pitch, and he finds the hole in the right. Yeah, Brewers on top first.
So the Rays with a couple of threats, getting nothing, and it's the Brewers the first run of the night, and there's a big old cut from Domingo Santana. Triple for Arcia, scores on the RBI single off the bat of Eric Thames. The very good year that Santana's putting together, but he tailed off in the homestand. Just a couple of hits in that 6-game stand. The body of work has been terrific for the right fielder, as you see by those numbers. No balls, 2 strikes. Thames the runner at first. Ball is inside.
And Santana, one of those guys that has done a pretty good job with runners in scoring position so far this year, hitting over 300. He's come up with some big hits.
Encouraging to see Thames deliver there. That's been a tough number for him, the wrist number, but RBI single, and he's actually been hitting for a pretty good average. You go back to the beginning of July, and the batting average is starting to climb back up. Good sign for him here tonight early. 2-2 pitch. And that is strike 3. And the first out here of the inning.
Freya got away with a hanger right there. That one right down the middle of the plate. Slider. I imagine he let that one go and probably said this is not going to end well, but Domingo Santana swung right through it.
Now he faces Ryan Braun. It is intriguing with the DH in play for the next 5 games. Got a lot of guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but Braun and Aguilar and Thames get them all in there. Not to mention Shaw, Santana for that matter. A lot of thump in that lineup. 1 through 9 as Braun fouls one out of reach for strike 1. Aguilar with a couple of home runs in the last 2 ball games. And the always uptight Brewers dugout.
These guys always having a good time no matter what's going on.
2 they are. Out on the field, it's about business, but they like to have their fun as well. 0-1 pitch to Braun. Ronnie not in the lineup yesterday. The Brewers able to take care of things against the Cardinals. He's missed a total of 39 games this season because of the left calf strain injury that he has dealt with. We've monitored that as well as a sore wrist. You want him in there as often as possible, and yet you want him to get the rest, the scheduled days off, the maintenance. Keep him as fresh as possible in these final 2 months.
And again, I think in spring training, if you told everybody that Ryan Braun would miss half the games and the Brewers would be a game out, I think, what do you think they'd have said to you? I think you're crazy, right?
Exactly.
That's what the team has been able to do. They've done a pretty good job.
Greg Counsell has said time and again he has very good options. It's position player group.
Right now, the starting pitching in the bullpen carrying this club.
Yeah, that may be the biggest surprise outside looking in. The performance of that group. Starters, you're right. Starters and pen as Braun fouls it out of play.
At some point, though, you got to take pressure off those guys. I mean, the margins have been so thin. Not a whole lot of run support to work with, and that'll wear you out. Every pitch so important in close games.
See a couple of the newer faces there. Swarzak and a new old face, if you will, Jeremy Jeffress, back with the Brewers. 1-2 the count to Ryan Braun. A swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Faria. 2 men out in the 3rd.
Hey, the Brewers return home next week to begin a 7-game homestand that kicks off with a 2-game set against their interleague rivals, the Minnesota Twins, on Wednesday, August 9th and Thursday, the 10th. Secure your tickets today at Brewers.com. Home and home against the Twins.
There you
Brewers
go.
going to be in Minnesota on Monday and Tuesday, and play them on Wednesday and Thursday at Miller Park.
Nice to see Paul Molitor and company, a team that is much improved from last year, but they have tailed off here of late. They made a big move, moving Brandon Kinsler to the Nationals in front of that non-waiver trade deadline. The Nationals went with their newbies in the bullpen and nailed down that win against the Cubs. Kinsler, Ryan Madsen, and Sean Doolittle. The weakness has become a strength, it would appear.
Right, that was the only thing they needed was bullpen help. They got it.
1-0 to Travis Shaw. Brewers striking first here in the 3rd inning. Leadoff triple from Orlando Arcia. RBI single off the bat of Eric Thames. There's the 2-0.
Let's see if Travis Shaw swings on his 3-0 pitch.
See if he can get something to drive. Let that one go, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, hit one out there into the Stingray pool out there in right center.
That's right. There you go.
Did you check that out today?
I've not, but I think tomorrow. If you want to come along, there it is, Rock.
I'm in.
I think that's a good little pregame routine that we should
Get your
take
hands
part
out
in.
of there, kids.
Yeah, that would not end well. Shaw with a hard ground ball right to first. Lucas Duda gobbles it up, and that'll do it. here for the Brewers in the third, but a scoring inning for the Brew Crew. Orlando Arcia, celebrating birthday number 23, begins the inning with a triple into the gap in left center, and Thames picks him up with an RBI single. 1-0 the Crew. Sports proud to team up with Girls on the Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved this fall and visit foxsportssupports.com. Logan Morrison leading off here against Woodruff, and a little bloop into left center field that's going to fall in front of Keon Broxton. And Morrison is 2 for 2 tonight.
A lot of base runners against Woodruff so far. Wow. Another jam shot, and that's, you know, when you're going well like Morrison is this year, you get those. Dumps one out there in the center field, a jam shot.
Woodruff has gotten out of trouble in each of the first 2 innings. Bases loaded jams. Rays still have yet to score. Here is Steven Souza Jr. He walked in the first. Already Tampa Bay with 5 hits in the ball game. Souza originally a draft pick of the Nationals. That goes back 10 years ago. In fact, he was picked just before Jonathan Lucroy came over the Rays 3 years ago, part of a 3-team deal. The Nats, the Rays, and the Padres. Some pretty good names involved, including Will Myers, Trey Turner. He's having a very good year for the Nationals until he got hurt. His road back. Rays were like the Brewers in many ways, as we've talked about, including the fact they were scoring runs at a high clip and then tailed off for a time. Signs are getting things back in order. A ground ball to Shaw. He'll flip it wide of Perez, and that's trouble. Moving over to third will be Morrison, and he'll stop there as Santana with a strike to the plate.
Yeah. That bad throw by Travis Shaw. They had the out easily at second base. Tried to get rid of it quickly, and it maybe turned 2. Right down the line. You know, flipped it quickly out of the glove. Wouldn't have had a double play anyway. He runs pretty well, even with that bad foot. And Perez not able to come up with it. That's going to be an E5. So more trouble for Brandon Woodruff, this time courtesy of his defense.
Shaw had that long errorless streak come to an end last week in Washington. He's played very solid D over there throughout this season, but his throwing error has runners at the corners now. Nobody out for Brad Miller. Brewers will trade the run to get a couple of outs if they can get a ground ball off of Miller. Foul tip for strike one. Showed you those numbers that Miller put up last year. He went deep 30 times. It was his first year with the Rays. Came over after 3 years with the Seattle Mariners.
Not bad for a second baseman, huh?
Yeah, they have him probably in a better spot for him now. He's been playing shortstop and can be error prone, but they picked up Adeiny Echeverria, who's not in the lineup tonight. They brought him over from Miami. Maybe second base is more compatible for Miller. And you mentioned earlier they want that bat. I don't know if they're counting on 30 home runs every year, but he delivered that last year, and the run production has been missing from him so far this season. Woodruff trying to take care of him here. A ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. That's a big punch out for out number 1.
Yeah, good slider, perfectly placed. I mean, out of the strike zone in the dirt. Pena blocks it. And now get your ground ball. Get out of this inning. He's been Houdini a couple of innings. Why not another? Good slider. Perfect spot for it with 2 strikes. What about to hang that one?
Woodruff facing someone who is prone to hit into double plays. It's set to have at it against Wilson Ramos. Ramos was all-star good last year, a 300 hitter. Just got back into the fold June 24th, coming off that knee injury that he suffered late in September for the Nationals. That was a big blow to that club going into postseason.
Ramos has hit into 8 double plays. He's only played 25 games.
Yeah, right. Let's see if they can get him to roll into number 9 here. 1-0. In the air, center field. Broxton coming on. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Morrison, and he'll slam on the brakes. Runners stay at the corners with 2 men outs.
Well, 2/3 the way there. Yeah, Keon got a good jump on that, made the catch easily, and because he was coming in quickly, was able to get his momentum toward home. No chance Morris is going to try and score on this. A jam shot. Once again, Woodruff able to get it in on some hands. This time he gets an out with it.
So 2 away. Morrison stays at third. Sousa at first. And now Malik Smith, who singled to left his first time up. Rays have left him loaded each of the first 2 innings. 2 on now. Can Woodruff get out of it again? Fastball for strike 1.
Pretty much straight away for Smith. Not much of a shift.
Smith runs well. swing and a miss there.
Good changeup. He's throwing some really good changeups today. Slider's been inconsistent, but the changeup's been a good pitch for him.
Got him going right away tonight. Struck out first hitter he faced, Corey Dickerson, on a changeup. Smith choking up on the bat a bit here. 2 strikes and nothing. Can Woodruff get out of another jam? Runner goes, and now they've got him hung up. They're trying to put on a little game here, but it's not going to work as Arcia applies the tag on Sousa, and once again the Rays come up empty. How about that? We have completed 3 here at Tropicana Field. Still 1-0 Milwaukee. Nothing. We move to the 4th inning. Tampa Bay stranded runners all over the Gulf Coast here in the first 3 innings. Trying to run a little game here, Rock. Brewers just aren't having any of it.
You don't have the base runners on the bases to be able to pull that one off. I mean, Logan Morrison is not going to score on that double steal. You know, the idea is Sousa getting a rundown to allow Morrison to score once the rundown starts. But look, he's not even hardly off third base. An easy tag by Arcia, and another guy caught stealing for Manny Pena.
There you go. Brings that down to an art form.
Got to have the right guys on the bases to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, that had no chance. So the Rays have stranded 7 through the first 3 innings. Here is Jesus Aguilar to start the top half of the 4th. Aguilar hit a fly ball to right that ended the first inning. A couple of home runs this week has Aguilar in the double-digit club with the big flies. He has 11 of them. Brewers team with 7 players now with at least 11 home runs. Swing and a miss for Aguilar. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mention that double-digit group. Arcia is right on the edge. He has 9. Arcia tripled and scored the game's only run so far, and Aguilar a swing and a miss, and there's strikeout number 4 for Jake Faria. Get an idea of why they like Faria and why those numbers have been good. One of the better ERAs in the American League. In fact, his ERA of 2.93, 5th in the AL, and the company is pretty good. Corey Kluber went the distance for the Indians yesterday. Chris Sale, Sonny Gray, Drew Pomeranz. pretty good collection that this rookie is running with right now. A 10th round pick of the Rays back in 2011.
Yeah, he's had some good starts this year. He's only had 2 starts where he's given up more than 3 runs. Last time out against the Yankees, he gave up 3 runs in 4 innings. Pitch count issues, 92 pitches and only 4 innings, but 4 runs in 5 innings 3 starts ago. But yeah, he's been pretty consistent, eating up innings.
8 out of 10 quality starts, including his first 7. 2-1 the count. He resides in Anaheim, California. Big Angels fan naturally growing up. Say he really tried to model his delivery after Jared Weaver, in fact.
It's not even close, is it?
No, I was going to ask you.
Right.
Looking at the bio and thinking, really?
Yeah,
okay.
That's not even close to Jared Weaver.
Oh.
Jared Weaver's a big sinker baller.
Yeah. There's a foul pop that Ramos will squeeze for out number 2.
Well, he said he tried to model his delivery after Jared Weaver.
He tried something else and it's working okay.
Yeah, hey, this summer you can look cool while keeping your drinks cold with the Brewers Cooler Backpack. Given to the first 10,000 fans 21 and older at Miller Park for the Brewers interleague battle with the Twins. That's on Thursday, August 10th, courtesy of Miller Lite. For tickets, go to brewers.com.
2 men out for Manny Pena. Yeah, I should fill in the blank. It said in high school he tried to model his delivery after Jared Weaver. That's a long time ago. So as you move on, you adjust accordingly to your own skill set and what works for you.
Right.
2 balls, no strikes to Pena.
Well, high school I wanted to be Johnny Bench. That didn't work out.
So you settled for Bill Schroeder, and it worked out.
Hey, want to have lofty goals.
Go big or go home. You were a big Jerry Grody guy too, if I remember right.
Yeah.
You liked him.
Good defense, right?
Yeah.
But any kid growing up in the 70s, Johnny Bench was the guy. But
Yeah, he was.
I kind of patterned myself after Grody. Not a big hitter, Grody, but tremendous defensively. Kept an eye on Ray Fosse too out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, there you go. Pena, a foul tip into the mid of Ramos, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Faria. They move to the bottom of the 4th. Brewers leading 1-0.
Brandon Woodruff as he makes his major league debut tonight, a 1-0 lead for him and the Brewers. And talking to Craig Counsell about this day, he said that maybe this day would be a little bit easier just considering the fact that he had that first opportunity in June 13th when he was supposed to start game 1 of the doubleheader before being scratched with the right hamstring tightness. So he said, you know, getting those debut jitters out of the way, he said the tough part is that lead up time up until you're out on the mound, up until the game starts, and then your adrenaline and the normal routine starts to take over. So he said this day probably feels a little bit more different, a little bit more normal to him than maybe that first day in St. Louis. And he said, you know, you look back on that day and your heart just sank when that happened for him. And he said it was such a tough day, obviously losing him in game 1 and then how they had to cover the rest of that day. But said very much looking forward to seeing what he could do here tonight and the opportunity that he had here.
And so far so good. Not easy, as he has worked his way out of trouble in each of the first 3, but so far has yet to give up a run.
Yep, 60 pitches in the first 3+ innings.
2 balls, no strikes to Malik Smith. This has popped up, and that's going to carry out a play. Let's go back to June 13th, thinking this will be the day you make your big league debut, and going through the routine before your first starts, and the hamstrings barking.
Yep, and about that time, Brent Suter's starting to get ready to pitch. There's Sophia right on it, isn't she?
That's right. Emmy award-winning reporter.
What's going on, DJ?
Smith with a base hit into left center field. It's his second hit of the night.
Third straight inning, the Rays have been able to get a leadoff hitter on.
Here we go again.
Rays 0 for 6, runners in scoring position. They've stranded 7 already.
They are racking up the hits. There's Daniel Robertson. Ended up making the team in place of Nick Franklin. Remember him? With the Brewers briefly early in the year. Neck issue had him on the 10-day DL. Talking about Robertson, but fresh off the DL here tonight. Smith, the runner at first, and he runs well. He is a stolen base threat. He has 16 of them so far this year in 20 tries.
And one of the few guys that will run on this club.
In fact, the only player active with double-digit steals. Kiermaier does have 10, but he's still trying to fight his way back from a hip injury. Terrific center fielder. Smith patrolling center in the meantime. Ninth place hitter in the order is Robertson. This is popped up. Travis Shaw will squeeze it for out number 1. Let's see if Woodruff can continue to keep the Rays off the board. Rocky's been flirting with big trouble here, but he's been able to get out of it.
That'd be James Longoria in the first inning. And the Brewers have done a good job defensively behind him, except for that error by Travis Shaw last inning. But he's made some pretty good pitches. I mean, his best pitches have been fastballs in on these Rays hitters. And jammed another one on that pop out to foul ground at third base.
He now gets ready to face Corey Dickerson. He has struck him out twice. Six hits for the Rays. A run on 3 hits for the Brewers, and a throw over there. Pretty close, but it looked like Well, he never was able to come up with it cleanly there, Aguilar. Get the sense that Smith wants to take off here.
He's got a nice big lead right there. I don't think Aguilar ever got a glove on that. That hit Smith right in the back. That is a big lead.
Another throw, and they got him. They picked him off.
Yeah, he was leaning. Yeah, he wanted to run. He had a big lead. He was leaning towards second, and Woodruff picks him off. All right, quick feet for the big fella, and a good throw to first base. See the lean? That's all it takes. And Aguilar shows the umpire the baseball. And panic setting in right there, knocks his helmet off, and he's out.
Two men out, the bases are empty. Alex Smith picked off first. And Woodruff fitting right in.
And second out on the bases for the Rays, back-to-back innings.
The fastball gets past Dickerson. Trying to pull off a double steal that never really got going. Steven Souza Jr. thrown out. Trying to get hung up in a rundown so Morrison could score from third, but it never unfolded. Aguilar was able to slap the tag on Souza, and that ended the third inning. Aguilar slapping a tag with the kisser of Alex Smith, picking him off first. Brandon Woodruff ready with a 1-1. He's not afraid to get his half of the plate. Get him inside. He's going right after guys.
Right, even when Pena sets up away.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. He's got incredible movement. Looks like the ball cuts and sinks, and he can't be easy to catch.
A ball, 2 strikes. Sets up away. Over the plate and fouled off.
Likes to ride that fastball up in the zone. Change up, sliders down.
Tough for catchers and dicey for hitters. Not sure where it's going, but chances are it's coming in hot. A ball, 2 strikes to Dickerson. Back to the mound. Woodruff right there. The changeup, and that takes care of Dickerson. Down go the Rays in the 4th. Woodruff with a pickoff, fitting right into this Brewers club. Still 1-0 Milwaukee after 4.
Brewers have a 1-0 lead over the Rays as we head to the 5th, and time now for our minor league scouting report brought to you by UW Whitewater Athletics. We look at shortstop Mauricio Dubon, who last night went 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs over his last 9 games. A hot bat for Dubon, a .359 average, 3 home runs, and 8 RBIs for him, the Brewers' 9th best prospect in the organization.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Another exciting prospect. I know a lot of fans had a chance to check him out. Maryvale in spring training. Continuing to turn in some good work is Keon Broxton leading off here in the 5th inning. 8-9-1 here for the Brewers against Jake Faria. Run of the game coming in the 3rd, and Orlando Arcia triple, followed by an Eric Thames RBI single. Broxton a fly ball to center, his first trip. Sends one out of play, and it's 2-1. Back to patrolling center. Lewis Brinson sent back to AAA Colorado Springs. Broxton was briefly coming back up, trying to get some things straightened out with Broxton at the plate. Almost taking one that he felt.
Yeah, life of a catcher, right?
You know it well.
Guys get dinged. The trainers don't even move. Of course, Dan Wright went out, had a chat with Pena when he got dinged in the mask. Head athletic trainer Dan Wright.
There he is.
One of the best. One of the best training groups in all of baseball, all of sports for that matter. They have awards to prove it.
Yeah, I was going to say they have been recognized as such by those who would know firsthand.
Josh Seligman, strength and conditioning coach.
Constant state of maintenance. Keeping these guys ready.
Always watching what we eat too.
And then laughing at us.
Yeah. Walking down the aisle, we got a piece of cake. Said, Rock, what are you doing?
It's like, look at you, Stiffs. You have no chance. Broxton a swing and a miss for out number 1 in the 5th.
Voice of reason.
Right back to reality.
Yeah.
Here's Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, I feel bad about it. Hey, let's check out the swing of Orlando Arcia. You talk to Darnell Coles, he'll tell you, watch the front foot. When the front foot hits the ground, that's when you begin the swing. And that's exactly what he does right here. If you start that swing before the foot is down, you're off balance. You're going to be out in front. And that's why Arcia was able to center on that fastball and rip it out into center field.
And another example of the development of him as a hitter, his ability to turn on a fastball and use all parts of the ballpark.
That is especially important on breaking pitches off speed. That front foot down, then the swing starts. All about the balance and the good foundation. All starts with the legs hitting, and then the upper body of the hands take over.
2 balls, 1 strike. It was a double that he pulled in a late April game against Atlanta. I think he had homered going opposite field earlier in the series, maybe earlier in the game. But he shot one in the gap in left center. The next day, that was what Craig Counsell wanted to talk about. Not the dinger, but the double that he was able to pull.
That's something else, isn't it? I mean, most managers and most hitters, you want them to concentrate on right field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right-handed hitters, but Craig Counsell said even early in the season when Arcia was hitting everything to right, even pitches in on him, he said at some point it's going to get to him, and he's going to start pulling those pitches. Well, it happened. I think it happened a little bit sooner than Counsell anticipated. He has made great strides at the plate in just 1 year in the big leagues.
Sure has. Normally you see Arcia in the 8-hole, but with the DH, he's hitting 9th, and the guy in that spot 8-9 who's an 8th place hitter who's hitting around 280. That's impressive, and he pulls another one. There's a base hit to left field. 1 out, 1 on here for the Brew Crew in the 5th.
Yeah, 28 hits now to left field, and I would imagine most of those have come in the last 6 weeks. That's just a good piece of hitting on a breaking pitch from Faria. Leaves it up. Arcia, not much of a leg kick right there at all. Did you see it? I mean, that's the kind of a thing about Arcia. I mean, he's always tweaking something. He's always trying to figure out how am I going to feel comfortable today. And it's not just game to game or at bat to at bat. I mean, he'll change in the middle of an at bat like he did right there.
Just turning into a very good hitter this season is Orlando Arcia as he draws a throw from Faria.
There's not many guys like Ryan Braun that, you know, hit one way, stand one way, have the same approach for 10 years. I mean, guys are going to change all the time. You're going to do different things to feel comfortable up there at the plate. Ways that they feel they have a chance to get the barrel of the base, their barrel of the bat to the ball. Ryan Braun is an exception.
Eric Thames has produced the 1 run here tonight. Picked up Arcia with a run scoring single. At the top of the order for the 2nd straight game.
That's amazing about that, what Arcia just did. What goes into his head, or what is he thinking about when he says, I'm going to do this time in the middle of an at bat? I mean, that's unusual. It really is. You don't see that very often.
It's a 23-year-old doing this too.
I see a guy work on something like that in batting practice and incorporate in a game later on, but in the middle of an at bat to change.
Exciting player. You know about the defense. Glove work, the strong arm, and now we're getting a pretty good sample size of what Orlando Arcia brings to the party as a hitter.
And just a terrific kid to go with it. I mean, always positive, has a smile on his face all the time. Just an unlimited amount of positive energy.
You know, he's having fun playing the game. Different guys show it in different ways, but there is no doubt when you watch Arcia that he is playing the game he loves. A ball, 2 strikes, the count to Eric Thames with 1 out of the 5th. Big interleague series here for the Crew. First of 3 against the Rays. Time these franchises have met since 2014, a series down here where the Rays took 2 out of 3. Rays in the thick of the fight in the AL East, and just a half out in the wild card chase. If the Brewers can win tonight, they would pull to within a half a game of the Cubs. Joe Maddon's team falling to the Nationals 4-2. Faria ahead of the count to Thames. A ball, 2 strikes. And that is a cold 3rd strike, and Thames doesn't think so.
And you don't see him get upset too often.
Well,
he is still upset.
Gary Cederstrom letting him say his piece, and that's out number 2. He holds his composure really well. It's what you're seeing there with Thames. You don't see a ton of it on a ball strike call, but you see it a little bit right there. There's Domingo Santana pitch out, nothing doing.
Well, let's check it out. Does Thames have a beef? Looks like a pretty good pitch right on the edge. 91 miles an hour. Too close to take. But you got to credit Gary Cedarstrom. He let him say his piece. He walked back to the dugout all well. Unlike what we saw yesterday.
Wow, that was Aguilar, right? Just baiting him. There's Santana slaps a ground ball to short. Robertson is there, and the inning is over. We are halfway through this series opener in St. Petersburg with the Brewers leading the Rays 1-0.
Celebrating his 23rd birthday here today at Tropicana Field, a 1-0 lead for Milwaukee. And we all know the heroes on the field, but this season, the Brewers and Meyer want to honor the real heroes of our community. Each month, one outstanding individual will be recognized as the Brewers Community Achiever presented by Meyer. Achievers will receive 4 tickets, on-field acknowledgement, and the opportunity to throw out a ceremonial first pitch. So if you want to nominate someone, you can go to brewers.com/community or pick up a nomination form at the Miller Park Guest Relations booth.
All right, thank you very much, Sophia. Bottom half of the 5th we go. Lucas Duda will lead things off against Brandon Woodruff. It's 2, 3, and 4 in the order for Tampa Bay. Trying to get Duda out for the first time tonight. A lot of traffic for Tampa Bay, but no one has crossed the plate yet. Woodruff quickly ahead, 2 strikes and nothing. 7 runners left stranded. And for the Rays. Each of the last 3 innings, Tampa Bay has had its leadoff man reach. Included the 4th when Malik Smith singled, and then he was picked off by Woodruff. It's been the closest thing to a clean inning so far for Woodruff. Here's the 1-2.
Still effective inside.
Due to the former Met back injury, cost him 2/3 of the season last year in New York. Makes this one out of play.
A little more of a laid-back atmosphere, don't you think, here in Tampa than the Big Apple?
Just a touch. There you go. Well, Friday night happy hour.
Everybody having a good time here in South Florida.
Getting out of the humidity for a few hours on a Friday night. 1-2 into the shift. That's aired on Perez for out number 1.
This isn't actually South Florida, is it?
No, this would be the Gulf Coast.
Right. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Got you covered.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, as I change the subject, Doubleday Sports Bar or Sports Center in Cottage Grove. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite, South Florida, Miami.
Which you will be visiting a little later this summer. Yeah. The Gulf Coast.
This is West Florida.
Yes.
Central Florida, I'm told.
Yeah. We're in Florida, Rock.
Everybody's an expert.
We're close to a fairly large body of water that I believe is the Gulf.
Everybody is here.
Yes.
In the whole state, right?
Longoria at the plate. You tried the grouper yet on the trip? Were you saving that?
I did.
All right.
Yep, I already have it. I'll have some tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm holding off till tomorrow.
Good stuff.
Can't pass on it when you're here.
Nice area. We actually say in St. Petersburg. Nice walking town, but you know the humidity gets you real quick.
Doesn't take long. You wear those glasses, you know, and you walk out of the hotel, you go outside, and you fog up in a hurry.
Yeah.
Let's get that sweat going right away. Longoria lifting one high in the air into left center field, and Ryan Braun will make the catch.
Yeah, you can't take your eye off of it. I was talking to Keon before the game about the turf, and the thing he talked about the most was the roof here. Kind of like the old Metrodome. It's the same color as a baseball, and he said it's very difficult during the day. They were here early today taking early batting practice. Says you can't take your eye off the baseball. Bronny had a little trouble with it.
You have to beware the catwalks. 4 rings around here that can come into play. There you are, just part of the quirks.
A, B, C, and D rings.
Got your 2 inside rings, your 2 outside rings.
Yeah, 2 of them you hit in fair territory. They're home runs. You hit the other 2, the inner circle ones, they're in play. Every now and again, a ball will get lodged up there and not come down. That's a double.
Right. Logan Morrison will send one over the glove of Arcia and a base hit. 2-out base runner for the Rays is Logan Morrison. Hit number 7 now for Tampa Bay. Brings Steven Souza to the plate. Has walked and has reached on an error.
Typical game for the Brewers lately, isn't it? 1-0.
Yeah. Might as well settle in. We mentioned at the top how these stats are so close, almost across the board. So I guess we might as well just lock into a bunch of tight games all weekend. Oh, the homestand was 5 out of 6 were 1-run games, and the other was a blowout. What, by 2?
Yeah. And we're not talking 9-8 either.
No. 2-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
5-4. That 9th inning yesterday, that was edge of your seat stuff. Corey Knebel and the Cardinals, 2 on, 2 out, and Knebel finishing that game by getting Greg Garcia to look at a curve on a 3-2 pitch.
And Garcia never saw that coming.
No. That was a big crowd at Miller Park. Good atmosphere. We look forward to more of the same here. Brewers back on the road, and the last road trip, of course, was a very poor one for this team, but the vast majority of the season the Brewers have played some pretty good baseball away from Miller Park, and this is the first of a 5-game swing here, and so they get back to that form. The ball, 2 strikes to Souza. Fouls that back out of play. exposure for this young team, including Pena, to play in these games. The deeper you go, the brighter the spotlight can get. And really much the same can be said for the Rays. A team that does not draw well, but it's playing well this year. They lost 94 games a year ago. Swing and a miss from Souza, and Brandon Woodruff with 5 strikeouts in the game. Gaining some confidence here as the Brewers continue with this 1-0 lead after 5.
Here in the 6th time now for our unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. We take a look at a lot of eyes on that Cubs and National series this weekend at Wrigley Field, and some rotation news for the Nationals. They announced that Max Scherzer with the neck injury and Gio Gonzalez, expecting the birth of his child, will miss their scheduled starts this weekend. And for the Cubs, they'll be without their shortstop Addison Russell, who today was placed on the 10-day DL with a strained right foot, something that's been bothering him over the last few days. So for Russell, it's been a .241 average for him on the season. So the two teams will have a day game tomorrow at Wrigley, and should be a good pitching matchup. It'll be Edwin Jackson against John Lackey.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Nats will be trying to make it 2 straights in that series. The Cubs today as Ryan Braun leads off here for the Crew in inning number 6. A walk and a strikeout so far tonight for Brawny. Looking for his first career hit in this ballpark. Not that he's played a ton. This game number 4, but he is 0 for 13 here. A rare negative stat for this guy.
Yeah.
Around baseball, and the numbers are generally good to great.
Yeah, sometimes it takes getting used to playing in these domes. Remember the old Metrodome and the Kingdome in Seattle? Sometimes by the time you get used to playing in these places, and that perception is a little bit different than when you play outside or even in these retractable domes. By the time you get used to it, you're out of there and off to another city. Some domes you see the ball well, some you don't.
So seeing Jake Faria for the first time, always a challenge. 2-2 pitch. There's a chopper and stabbed by Duda. He'll feed Faria for out number 1. Good play.
Duda not really known for his good defense, but that was a good play that time. Yeah, got down on the backhand and an easy flip over to Faria for the out. You see the way he tries to get down the level of the hop, and Faria able to beat Braun to the bag.
One away in the 6th. Travis Shaw to the plate. Shaw has walked and has bounced to first. Brewers have managed 4 hits so far off Faria. Drops a curve in there. Let's check out our Powerball home run leaderboard. Getting tight. Eric Thames and Travis Shaw 1-2. Domingo Santana next in line with 18. Broxton and Braun rounding out the home run leaderboard. Shaw's actually matched Thames a couple of times, and then Eric with quick answers to regain the home run leadership. 1-1 pitch. Out straight back. Fairly close to us. Was ready to duck.
I saw you reaching out. I was proud of you.
Left my glove back in the room again. I'm diving underneath the table. 1-2 pitch to Shaw.
You're all right as long as you don't hear him coming in.
Yeah, remember that? Was it the Red Sox game? It was an afternoon game at Miller Park, and one was rattling around. There we are, and then I was diving, getting out of the way, and you could hear it. There's a foul tip into the mid of Ramos, and that is out number 2. 8 strikeouts now for Jake Faria.
And when they come in buzzing, you get out of the way. You don't have to be macho up here.
Shaw now with some words, and Craig Counsell going to intervene. Gary Cederstrom, home plate umpire. A couple Brewer hitters not all that crazy apparently with the strike zone here, or
well, it's a
in
swing.
this case,
Is it a foul tip? Did he catch it? Looked like he caught it.
Yeah, it looked like a clean.
I think that's what they were talking about. See, Gary Cederstrom saying foul tip, but it was a clean catch.
Yeah. Eight strikeouts for Faria. Jesus Aguilar, the hitter. One of those strikeout victims in the 4th. Also a fly ball to right. Strong numbers when he is called upon. Jesus Aguilar. One of the better pinch hitters going, but not a role for him tonight. And there at first base for Craig Counsell.
Yeah, Brewers only have 3 on their bench. You got Sogard, VR, and Susak, who just got called up. Bench is thin with the DH.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Aguilar. Base is empty with 2 men outs in a 1-run game. 2-2. And he went around, and that's going to be strikeout number 9 for Faria, and a 1-2-3 inning for the rookie starter for Tampa Bay. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Brewers still up a run. done, Jeff, as Brad Miller first pitch swing and a tapper to Aguilar for out number 1. Jeff bringing the knowledge, and you see what Giancarlo Stanton has done. He has passed Aaron Judge. And Rock, we wondered about this when we were in New York with the Brewers right before the All-Star break. We saw Judge go deep. Was he ever going to cool off, this rookie sensation? And he has.
Right.
And actually, it's got to the point where Joe Girardi has wanted to sit him down, just let him take a breath. But what a talent.
Yeah, and not hitting a ball out of the ballpark. He's hitting it under 200 since the All-Star break,
Right.
but he'll get it going again. A pretty impressive young man, and both on the field and off. A very classy young guy. But how about Stanton? The Brewers are going to see him in Miami in September, and something else. I mean, those two guys can hit him as far as anybody.
Just powerful, intimidating. We saw that with Judge firsthand, and Stanton certainly know about. He was put together. Wilson Ramos at the plate. Woodruff in front, 0-2. So much exciting talent in this game, and so much of it is very young. As the Brewers have some of that young talent becoming shortstop, among others. 2-strike pitch on the way. Ramos a swing and a foul tip out of the mid opinion.
Brandon Woodruff seems to be getting better as the game's going on. He's throwing his slider more consistently. Changeup's been a real good pitch for him.
Even though he got out of that first inning, didn't give up a run, but that pitch count was getting up there in a hurry. He didn't know he'd be able to get past the third or the fourth. But now here we are in the 6th, and there's a liner right to Hernan Perez for out number 2. This is impressive what this guy's doing, his big league debut.
Yeah, I mean, he's throwing all of his pitches. There's a changeup for a strike, and even when he doesn't hit his spot, sometimes Manny Pena is sitting up on one side of the plate, and he's able to power the ball by guys. There's that slider, but very impressive. He flips up a curveball right there. So I think that, you know, after that first inning when he left the bases loaded, just got more and more confidence, and that was what we were talking about on the open. Early success, and it's going to breed confidence, and right now he's throwing the ball very well.
Well, you would know this as Malik Smith fouls one out of play. You're seeing the work of Woodruff, but you're watching a bit of a catching clinic too from Pena. As you've mentioned, these pitches are oftentimes not going where Manny has the target established. And he's able to, at worst, keep it in front of him.
There hadn't been a whole lot of shakeoffs. I think Woodruff is allowing Manny to do the thinking back there and asking, all he has to do is execute.
Strike pitch to Smith, who is 2 for 2 tonight. There's a fly ball out toward Domingo Santana. Changeup continues to be effective for Brandon Woodruff, and he has himself a 1-2-3 inning. We are through 6th. Young man dealing in his debut. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey, all fans at Miller Park on Sunday, August 13th against the Reds. We'll get a Bob Uecker 8-ball featuring a variety of fun Eucherisms as the answers. This one-of-a-kind fortune-telling device comes to you courtesy of 620 WTMJ.
All right, new pitcher now as Jake Faria's night is done. And the veteran Sergio Romo on the mound for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, picked him up from the Dodgers right before the trading deadline, and 36th appearance overall. He pitched last. Did Romo yesterday against Houston, a scoreless inning. Those a lot of sliders. Very unorthodox delivery, doesn't throw hard. Very tough on right-handed batters.
An all-star with the Giants, had a year where he saved 38 games. He faces Hernan Perez and sends one right to Lucas Duda for out number 1. Good pitching matchup here tonight. 2 rookie starters, including Brandon Woodruff, making his MLB debut. And now, from the Rays' perspective, Kevin Cash turns it over to Romo. But boy, Woodruff coming off a 7-pitch 6th inning. He has made his debut a very impressive one.
Yeah, his first 3 innings, I mean, he was in big trouble, but able to get big outs. Yeah, first and third, nobody out in the 3rd inning, got out of it.
Brewers bullpen starting to get active here as 6 innings of work from Brandon Woodruff, the 24-year-old out of Tupelo, Mississippi.
That was worth the wait, right?
Yeah, sure was.
For him.
Yeah. Thought he would get that debut on June 13th. Instead, it's August 4th. That slider from Romo as you look at Josh Hader. Another rook getting loose. Has he been impressive? 2 strikes and nothing to Pena. One out here in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss, and Romo a strikeout of Manny Pena, 2 away.
Yeah, that's that slider, a big sweeping slider in the 70s. That's been his bread and butter.
One of the 3 World Series championship teams with the Giants, including 2012 when he saved 3 games, 3 of the 4 in the Giants sweep of the Tigers. Here's Keon Broxton. After the first pitch, sending one in the air to center field. Smith on the run, and he makes the catch. And Romo puts him down in order in the 7th inning. Stretch time here at Tropicana Field. A 1-0 lead for the Crew. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Hey, tomorrow UFC Fight Night is live from Mexico City as 6th-ranked Sergio Pettis, Milwaukee's own Sergio Pettis, faces off against 7th-ranked Brandon Moreno. UFC Fight Night tomorrow at 6 Central on FS1. Yes, Sergio Pettis, born and grew up in Milwaukee. So tune in tomorrow on FS1. UFC Fight Night. This guy's ready to go. Ready to rumble right now.
I hope Pettis not going to wear one of those when he's fighting. Yeah, Woodruff is probably in for one hitter. You got Robertson up, the number 9 hitter. He's right-handed. Then a couple of lefties. That's why Josh Hader's getting loose.
You see the pitch count as Hader may be coming on quickly here. Just a 7-pitch inning for Woodruff in the 6th, and he begins the 7th with a strike to Daniel Robertson.
Yeah, getting better as the game's going on. I mean, that slider's been a good pitch ever since the first 2 innings.
He sets up away and pitch misses. Strikeout and a foul pop. The bat of the shortstop Robertson so far tonight. Velocity still good here for Woodruff.
Yep, still getting away with high fastballs. That's a good sign. That's when you know you have good stuff.
Head of the count, a ball, 2 strikes. 9-1 and 2 hitters in the order for the Rays in the 7th inning. A swing and a miss. Going upstairs and getting a strikeout of Robertson for out number 1.
Boy, that is a good night's work for Brandon Woodruff as Craig Counsell comes out. Well, he's going to sleep good tonight. Well done, young man.
Absolutely. That was impressive. He wiggled out of trouble in the first 2 innings and really the 3rd. Not sure how long he was going to be able to go, but Woodruff is giving Craig Counsell one impressive performance. His manager with a smile and a tap on the shoulder. Absolutely a debut to remember for Brandon Woodruff. 6 1/3 of shutout baseball as he turns it over to Josh Hader in the Brewers bullpen. Woodruff 6 1/3, 7-hit shutout ball. He will turn things over here to the bullpen. That pitch count was approaching 100. He gets a punch out of Daniel Robertson, his final out of the night. With a couple of lefties now stepping to the plate. Craig Counsell will turn it over to his lefty out of the bullpen. What a night though for Woodruff.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of that young man. Nice job, and yeah, setting it up for a bullpen that's been pretty good. We saw Hader on Tuesday walk the only batter that he faced, but before that on the 29th against the Cubs, 3 shutout innings against Chicago.
is putting together a very good story in his own right. Josh Hader, a swing and a miss of Dickerson. See those numbers. Check out that ERA.
The opponent batting average, lefties, righties, nobody really hitting him.
One pitch, Dickerson, another wave and a miss. It was a game that the result wasn't what you would have wanted as a Brewer fan, but you still think of the matchup, Hader versus Bryce Harper. In a tight game late, and Hader got a strikeout. Harper ended up getting tossed from the game, but Hader was going toe-to-toe with a serious MVP candidate, and Hader got the better of him. 1-2 pitch.
Nothing seems to bother him. That's been the impressive thing about a lot of these young Brewers. I mean, whether they're pitchers or hitters, they don't seem to be really overwhelmed by their surroundings. I mean, he's had a lot of success in a short period of time as Hader for sure, but even when he first came up, it looked as though he felt like he belonged here.
Head of the count, 1-2 to the left fielder, Corey Dickerson. The lefty Lucas Duda is on deck. Here comes the 1-2. Strikeouts and a comebacker for Dickerson so far tonight. Now he has worked the count full against Hader. It's a team with a lot of pop, and it includes Dickerson. Hader ready with a payoff. It's a 1-out walk.
That's the only part of the game for Hader that he needs to work on, is throwing strikes. He was ahead quickly. He was ahead 1-2 in the count, tried to catch that outside corner to Dickerson, and Dickerson very disciplined, not chasing off the plate. No activity in that Brewers bullpen. You got Longoria on deck.
Here's Lucas Duda. Single came in the first inning. He's left stranded at third. Rounded out to second back in the fifth. A handful of moves that the Rays have made. Bolstered their bullpen here of late as well. We saw Romo in the seventh. Dan Jennings over as well. Stronger, more effective arms in that bullpen.
Basically what it comes down to when you're trying to get to the playoffs and into the playoffs, a strong bullpen. Where most of the moves have come, right?
Absolutely. 0-2 pitch. Yeah, all across baseball, certainly with the Nationals, we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yankees making moves. Well, Brewers, obviously, they're not maybe national headline kind of moves, but you bring Swarzak over from the White Sox and Jeffress back to the Brewers from the Rangers. In the case of Swarzak, he's having a breakout year, and in the case of Jeffries, maybe just being back where he is comfortable. He put so well last year. Could bring a little more strength to a group that has been strong.
Right, another power arm out there. Nothing wrong with that. I figure Swarzak might be out there for the eighth.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Lucas Duda. And that's a called third strike. And it's out number 2 in the seventh.
I'll tell you, none of those pitches that were out of the strike zone missed by too much. Finally able to catch the bottom of the strike zone with that last one. Right at the knees, 94 miles an hour, pretty much down the middle of the plate. Got the call.
2 outs, and now Hader will face a right-handed hitter, Evan Longoria. 0 for 3 tonight. A foul pop, a fielder's choice, and a fly to left. Three-time All-Star, 08, 09, and 2000. In fact, Longoria was the American League Rookie of the Year in 2008. He certainly had all-star numbers last year with the 36 homers, and he drove in 98.
Still having a solid season.
And an excellent pace, 17 bombs, 66 RBIs.
Careful here, 2-0.
Hitters count, here it comes. And that's a rope down the line and left, and that's a fair ball to the corner. Braun plays it off to Karen. Dickerson rounds third, heading home. Relay from Arcia, and he is out at home! Braun, Arcia, Pena, down goes Dickerson. And the Brewers keep the lead.
These guys, I'll tell you, that arm for Arcia, outstanding. Well, you got to figure that the Rays might want to take a look at it. But it all starts with Ryan Braun. We saw this back on the homestand. Braun with a perfect throw into Arcia. Arcia getting his feet in position to throw, and a strike to home plate. And they get the out. But they want to take a look at it.
Yep, they will review it. Did the front foot get across before the tag? That's the right foot. That's what we're going to check out in the review. But you're right. What a throw by Arcia. Money.
I think he's out. I don't think there's a whole lot there to overturn that. Pretty close, but everything had to work perfectly. Once again, the Brewers cutting down a run. And it all starts with the throw from Ryan Braun, a perfect peg from deep left field. And Orlando Arcia, the way this young man gets himself in position, gets ready to make a throw quickly before he even has the baseball. I mean, you can't teach that kind of stuff. You can't.
No, it's a gift, and the throw had to be that good too. Otherwise, this game's tied.
Man, right on the money. But you know, Ryan Braun, it all starts with him. Nothing happens if he makes a bad throw into the infield. Manny Pena certainly did not block off the plate.
Get the verdict out at home. 7-6 to 2 to get Dickerson. Braun, Arcia to Pena, as the Brewers defense money in the 7th inning. And the Brewers through 7 keep a 1-0 lead. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Second inning of work now for Sergio Romo, and Arcia first pitch swinging deep on the left, and it's gone. Orlando Arcia, who ended the bottom of the 7th with a seed to Manny Pena to cut down Dickerson, and he begins the 8th with a big fly.
Boy, he likes that first pitch, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does.
Boy, I'll tell you, Orlando Arcia, the more you see him, the more you like him. And he has been a game changer today. He scored both the runs tonight and cut down a would-be tying run at the plate. Man alive.
What a night.
Another Brewer with 10 home runs.
There you go. As he runs the gauntlet, and he's a double away from the cycle. A triple, a single, and a home run tonight for Orlando Arcia, and it's now a 2-0 ball game in the 8th inning. Eric Thames, who drove home Arcia in the 3rd, is at the plate.
Eight Brewers with home runs in double digits.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's, the RBI single for Thames that was sandwiched in between a couple of strikeouts, one swing and one looking. Yeah, the balance, we've talked about it really since the first month of the season. You have guys who can go on surges, and then here's Orlando dealing it, pulling one for number 10.
A rare hanger for Sergio Romo. That one stayed in the inside part of the plate and just spun up there. A Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game. Orlando Arcia with his 10th.
Ball 2 strikes to Thames, and he lifts a high fly ball into center field. And Alex Smith looked like he may have lost it for a second, but found it, located it, and squeezed it for out number 1.
Yeah, initially he didn't see it. Again, that's what we were talking about. Keon Broxton telling me that roof up there about the same color as a rubbed up baseball, and you just can't take your eye off of it. As you're telling Shaw right now. I'll tell you, it's tough to see. Just keep battling, just keep looking up there. You'll find it, you hope.
Here's Domingo Santana looking for his first hit.
I remember playing in the Metrodome in day games, and it was almost impossible.
Oh yeah.
You know, pop-ups behind home plate. I mean, with the sun beating through that canvas like that, it's just very difficult to pick up the baseball.
And here you have to be aware of the catwalks as well. But yeah, I think it's been talked about a lot in this ballpark. They'd love to have a new facility, but I mean, it's tough for the home team. You talk about the visiting team dealing with it. We just saw Alex Smith struggle.
Yeah, they're used to it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not sure you ever get used to it.
I was going to say Smith lost it for a second, or more than a second, but located it in time.
I guess the thing you learn from that is you don't give up. You don't panic. You keep going. I mean, you know the trajectory of the baseball. I know it's easy for me to say up here, but you just kind of go where you think the ball might end up, and sometimes you get lucky. You pick it up on its way down.
To have some trust that you have a beat on it. 3 balls, no strikes to Santana. The night so far for Domingo. Scuffling here at the plate of late. Not something that has been said often of him since the end of April.
And Romo's giving him a couple of pretty good pitches to hit. Sometimes you're just a little off. Doesn't matter what they're throwing you. On the flip side of that, when you're swinging the bat well, you're seeing it well. Doesn't matter how good the pitch is, you're going to hit it hard somewhere.
Full count to Domingo Santana. Here it comes. Back up the middle and positioned perfectly is Brad Miller for out number 2. The defensive positioning, the shifting, taking away a single here from Santana. There's Ryan Braun with 2 outs and the base is empty. Hit one sharply that Lucas Duda made a nice play on. Looking for his first hit. 0 for 2 with a walk is Braun. And that's hit well. Center field. Smith going back near the wall. Up against the wall. And he makes a terrific catch. Oh, Braun squared one up and Smith tasted the wall in center and made the play. But Orlando Arcia, his 23rd birthday, it's a good one. This play ended the 7th, cutting down Corey Dickerson. And then in the 8th, he hits one over Dickerson and over the wall. 2-0 Brew Crew in the 8th. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Yeah, Arcia having quite a night. Josh Hader on here as continues. He came in the 7th inning for Brandon Woodruff. Took care of things with Arcia's night. He has tripled, he has singled, he has homered. And he cut down Corey Dickerson trying to score in a double.
Incredible night. Both ends of the ball, right?
Yes, sir.
It's showing what he can do.
One pitch to Morrison, hit in the air to center field. Broxton has it tracked, and that's the first out of the inning. One away for Hader here in the 8th inning as he will now face Steven Souza.
Suzak up and ready in that bullpen. You would have thought that Greg Counsell might make a move here. Letting it ride now that they have a two-run lead.
There's Anthony Swarzak. You're right. He is ready to roll if needed. Brandon Woodruff started, went 6 1/3. 7 hits, shutout baseball, 7-hit shutout ball. Walked a couple, struck out 6.
The thing about Hader is you might as well get more than 1 inning out of him, maybe multiple outs, and Because really, once he's in a game, you can't really use him at this point back-to-back days. So get what you can out of him tonight.
Getting some pretty good work here so far as he's ahead 0-2 to Souza.
And he has proven he can be really strong through 2-3 innings.
Looking to put away Steve Souza here with 1 out of the 8th inning. Sub-1 ERA coming into this matchup for Josh Hader. This with a fastball. Yet another good pitching matchup. Becoming a nightly occurrence here for the Brewers, especially lately. The 1-2, a swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets Souza for out number 2.
Nice slider. The only pitch that was out of the strike zone. Gets him on strikes. Yeah, the breaking pitch. Perfectly located, down and in, off the plate. And Souza right over the top of it. That's nasty.
Gives you a pretty good speed range with that fastball, and then going off speed there. Slider, and now Craig Counsell's going to go ahead and make the move. Pinch hitter has been announced, Trevor Loof. And Craig is going to go to the bullpen. Anthony Swarzak is ready. And good work again in relief from Josh Hader. Pitching change with the Brewers leading 2-0.
A couple, and RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play action packed with all your favorite teams, players, and ballparks. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Numbers for Swarzak, very good. 46th appearance between his season with the White Sox and the Brewers. A .224 earned run average.
Will face Trevor Plouffe, who began this year with the Oakland A's, was moved to the Rays back in June. The vast majority of his career with the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, we saw Swarzak in yesterday's game, a scoreless inning.
To finish off this 8th inning. Hader getting a fly ball from Morrison, a strikeout of Steven Souza. Hader turning it over to Anthony Swarzak. He came to Milwaukee before he was even a Brewer. He picked up that save, his first career save against the White Sox rival Chicago Cubs. Helped his team before he became a member of it.
Yeah, went with a slider there on a 2-1 count. Borderline, but got the call. Plouffe didn't like it.
Two balls, two strikes.
He's pounding that outside corner down at the knees.
Here's the 2-2. And that got him. A hit batsman and a 2-out base runner. Here for the Rays. And this 8th inning will continue. Swarzak will regroup.
Yeah, tried to get him on a pitch inside after 3 straight sliders, but got away from him.
Here's Wilson Ramos. 1 for 3. He singled to center in the 2nd inning. Ramos still trying to get it in gear at the plate. He had 307 with the Nationals last year before that knee injury ended his season in September. 22 homers. He drove in 80. 1-0.
It takes a while to get it back a lot of times. Just can't miss all that time without live play at bats, and figure it out. He's a pretty good hitter. You hope it's on Monday.
Started a big homestand here for the Rays. A ball, a strike. Swarzak versus Wilson Ramos. And this is popped up. It is in play for Jesus Aguilar in foul territory, and the inning is over. Swarzak finishes the work started by Hader in the 8th, and we are through 8. 2-0 Milwaukee. Game summary here from Tropicana Field. Brandon Woodruff making his big league debut tonight. Worked out of a couple of big time jams. And 23rd birthday is a great one for Orlando Arcia. This triple, his 2nd of the year. It resulted in the first run of the night as Eric Thames picked him up with an RBI knock. And then a relay brawn to Arcia to Pena, cutting down Corey Dickerson, trying to score on a double, and then Arcia goes deep. He has tripled, singled, and homered tonight, and made a huge play to keep the Rays off the scoreboard. 2-0 is your score as we move to the 9th inning.
big lead for the Brewers this week. Right?
It is.
I mean, it's been amazing how close these games have been. Trevor Plouffe stays in the game after getting hit by a pitch as a pinch hitter. Takes over at second base.
And the hard-throwing lefty Jose Alvarado is on the mound. 22-year-old from Venezuela. Will face Travis Shaw, who fouled that one hard off his leg.
Been a while for Alvarado. Hasn't pitched since June 24th.
Just today recalled from AAA Durham. Stint number 2 for Alvarado.
2 lefties in that pen for Tampa Bay.
And the other is Dan Jennings, came over from the White Sox recently. Alvarado brings it, as you can see, 98, and it's about average of what he brings on that fastball. 2 strikes and nothing to Travis Shaw. And he makes quick work of Shaw for out number 1.
Good quick slider to go with that big fastball.
That is strikeout number 11 for Rays pitching tonight. Jake Faria, who went the first 6, had 9. 1 for Romo, and now 1 for Alvarado. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Jesus looking for his first hit of the night. Couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Bottom of the 9th, the Rays will have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. The Brewers can put a little something going here and give themselves a little more insurance. 100 from Alvarado. 0-2. Two runs on 5 hits for the Brewers. Nothing on 8 hits. The Rays have stranded 10. Here's the 0-2. Taking something off, and out ahead of it is Aguilar for out number 2.
Yeah, 100-mile-an-hour 2-seamer and then a slider. Yeah, down and in.
Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Second game of the set. Zach Davies pitching much better than that 4.42 ERA. Really been pitching well here of late. Alex Cobb on the mound for the Rays. We'll get it started tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. Here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, Zach took a 4-2 loss. 7 innings, 3 runs for Zach Davies. And he's on a roll right now.
That ERA is getting better, no question about it. Hernan Perez at the plate. For Davies in July, his ERA was 3.23. Alvarado with a couple of strikeouts here to begin the 9th inning. Perez trying to push a bunt and fouls it. And he's down in the count 0-2.
Gives you an idea how, you know, the Brewers feel that Alvarado's pit. You don't see Perez do that very often.
No. Make a little contact any way you can.
Bunt for a base hit, 2 outs, nobody on.
Alvarado looking to strike out the side. 0-2 the count. And he does just that. Backwards K for Alvarado. He gets Shaw, Aguilar, and Hernan Perez. Well, Corey Knebel made it exciting yesterday against the St. Louis Cardinals. Another chance to close tonight. time night for Orlando Arcia. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Night for Arcia, big night for Brewers pitching, looking to close this one out. 2-0 Brew Crew to the bottom of the ninth. And that means it's Corey Knebel time again.
Yeah, Corey Knebel, outstanding work for Corey. He pitched yesterday, picked up a save in yesterday's ball game. Has at least one strikeout in 50 of his 51 games. He's averaging almost 16 strikeouts per 9 innings.
You see that Brewers bullpen. Check it out.
Yeah. And Corey looking for save number 21.
We'll face Malik Smith here to lead off the ninth inning for the Rays. It was a busy ninth inning for Knebel yesterday. Gave up a single and a walk, and you see the workload yesterday. 29 tense pitches in the game against the Cardinals.
Had a great curveball in yesterday's game. Seems like the more he pitches, the more often. Got to have days off in there, but you know, those long layoffs for Knebel really don't do well for his curveball. Very inconsistent when he gets 3-4 days off.
It's back-to-back assignments here. 2-0 now to Smith. And pours one in there for strike one.
You got 8, 9, and then the top of the order. Imperative that you get a lot of work done early here.
And stay away from Duda and Longoria and Morrison. 2-1 pitch. Fouled away. Smith has singled twice. Picked off in the fourth inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here it comes.
But all fastballs so far to Smith. You don't want to walk him, certainly to bring the tying run to the plate. Let's see if he's got a curveball in him here.
3-2 curve to Greg Garcia ended the game yesterday afternoon. Quite a moment, quite a pitch. And that's low and in. So a full count to the leadoff hitter, Malik Smith. Daniel Robertson waits on deck. Corey Dickerson follows. He's in the hole. Full count to the center fielder. Payoff on the way. Swung on and missed. And there is out number 1 in the ninth.
Well, he's able to, throw strikes. Got behind an account 2-0 and blew the fastball right by him. Boy, that was a big hack by Smith on a 3-2 pitch. Looking to hit one out of here. Check this swing out. Wow.
So much for just trying to make contact.
No kidding, right?
The 2-strike approach. Swing as hard as he can.
Right out from under his helmet almost.
Here's Daniel Robertson. Foul ball. Robertson a couple of strikeouts and a foul pop. The 0-1. A little bloop into right field, shallow. It's going to drop in front of Santana. That means a tying run will come to the plate. It's hit number 11 for the Rays.
Yeah, a lot of them have been just like that. Little jam shots into the outfield. Yeah, but you got to tip your hat. He's able to make contact, unlike Smith with a big swing, just trying to put it in play. Dumps it right down the line. Tying run comes up. Now the home run hitters come to the plate.
It begins with this guy, Corey Dickerson. He has 21 home runs this year. Walked in the 7th inning, tried to score on an Evan Longoria double into the left field corner. And the Braun to Arcia to Pena relay cut down Dickerson at the plate as Knebel bounces one up there.
And now it becomes a little different for Knebel, starting him out with a curveball. Home run ties it.
Yeah, the thumpers all in a row now coming to the plate for Tampa Bay. Daniel Robertson, the one-out runner at first. Brewers trying to lock this one down. First game of the road trip. 1-1.
That curveball again. He's got a lot of confidence in that pitch. 1-0 count. Back to even.
Here's the 1-1 to the Heat for strike 2. There you go again in that 80 range to 98.
Down in the zone, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Big difference, 18 miles an hour.
Knebel ahead of the count, a ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Got him swinging. Fastball upstairs. Dickerson chased it, and down he goes. 2 men out of the ninth.
Yeah, that's the moneymaker. That high fastball with 2 strikes. Not too many hitters get a bat on that. You might foul it off. You're not going to do much with it. And 1 out to go. Started him out with a curveball. That got into his head. And gets him on a high fastball.
2 down, and Knebel will face another serious home run threat. Lucas Duda. And he cannot catch up to a 98-mile-an-hour offer.
Much more difficult to get to that pitch up there than it is down around the knees.
See the 20 homers, 3 of them as a Ray in his first 7 games. Runner going, Brewers are indifferent, and Knebel with another strike. Curveball in there, 0-2 the count. Knebel 1 strike away from save number 21. Trying to finish another night of terrific pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. 0-2 the count to Lucas Duda. He struck him out. Knebel punches out Smith, Dickerson, and Duda, and the Brewers get the win to begin the road trip. What a night for Brewers pitching. Brandon Woodruff, his debut, spectacular. Orlando Arcia, his 23rd birthday, spectacular. As the Rays are shut out. Well, the first time here in a few weeks as the Brewers get a win to start this 3-game series. 2-0 your final.
Well, how about this pitching? Is it unbelievable or what? I mean, the Brewers, another close game, 6th shutout for the Brewers. And how about Brandon Woodruff? Boy, what a performance by him.
Got out of 2 early bases loaded jams and then got better as the game went along. Great start to the trip for the Crew. A 2-0 win for the Brewers. Let's send it to Jeff Grayson, ready to roll in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio.